Over. Screen is off, and I just realized that I gotta change the name, but that's fine. Hello, everybody.
I told my hello.
Happy
Woo!
post Christmas
Andy.
show. So, we got Noah back with us tonight.
I told my daughter we do this. Horrified. Totally horrified.
You told her what we did?
I showed her the YouTube, like we're like on the stream or whatever they're recording, and she's like, "God," she's like, "How many followers and subscribers are there?" She like had to figure out how enraged to be. I was like, "I don't know how to be. I don't know that.
That's so awesome.
Don't worry." I keep threatening to start my own channel where I create this character called Squashmallow, and I just wear like a spandex unitard and dance around and give like
It would be so
like,
popular if you actually did that. It
She's
would
like,
be
you would go viral for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes,
Yes.
just to ruin your life.
All right, you should do that. Check that out soon, right, Todd?
yeah.
Yeah, coming
Posted.
soon. Summer 2025.
Think Jack Black, only less funny, less attractive,
There's a market for
less
it.
money,
There is a market for it.
very niche market.
Yeah.
Holy shit,
like-
a boat.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
we were on a boat last time, Bones.
Yeah, I mean, are we ready for a recap? You guys?
Yep. Yep. We're done bullshitting.
Do
Sorry.
it.
No, you're good. I'm just excited about YouTube channel. Uh, so yeah, last time you guys were on the boat, heading toward the capital. The boat was fractured as far as the alliance. Giraffe, second in command, had kind of meant some people that he might be better.
Toothless lizard.
Yep. Toothless. Yeah, missing some teeth. The boat was. You guys found out a lot of information, made allies with Syndril, and then the boat was attacked by some water trolls or scrags. It was an epic battle, and Drath took the opportunity to mutiny and attack Syndril, but he made the mistake of not including you guys in the attack because I think I said last time he misread the room basically. Like he was hoping to gain some powerful allies, but you guys were able to defeat him, run off the trolls, and keep about. Thanks to Fraz, of course, the apprentice mage. Without him, really, none of this is possible. And yeah, defeated them, and now are on the ship with about a third of the crew with Central.
Sweet.
And we looted the bodies
You did.
afterwards, Bones. And then you, I believe, were granted a silver ingot, a
Yes.
scroll
and,
case.
yeah, the 57
full-
silver.
oh, yeah,
I believe I got all that marked down, so.
nice.
Okay.
Called a fancy scroll case. Just, something
Fancy.
special for
Okay.
you.
I'll adjust the name of it in my inventory. Fancy cone of cold scroll.
Yeah, so the other part of the recap is we each went around doing our own kind of working over the crew.
Mhm.
Gideon was rowing and making friends with the brutes in the belly of the beast with his rowing prowess, and I was buttering up Fraz, the apprentice,
Mhm.
and God, it's where were you? Alana?
Where was I?
She was doing her own thing.
Were you buttering someone up? Were you getting
No,
Alana and
I
Glenn
was like meditating and
Oh,
It was
that's
shipped
right.
somewhere.
We wouldn't have known that.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have known that. Yeah. So, So we're on our way to the city. You say we're a day and a half out. We haven't pulled into port yet, or we pulled into
No,
like a.
no, this is actually the evening after that fight. Yeah, so tomorrow evening, probably it's probably like 5 or 6, probably like 6 o'clock right now. And tomorrow evening, after the sun's sets, you'll be at the, well, so just over a day.
Mhm.
That's scary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when we had talked to Cyrindril, and she had pointed us in the direction of Robin the Fine for information once we get into the city.
Okay.
Is someone who might know a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah. So, and
So-
if there's anything, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to start RPing, so go.
Yeah, well, that's what exactly. Yeah, I wanted to know if there's anything you wanted to do before, you guys retire for the evening or anything like that. Basically, if you had any questions or concerns, or we're gonna do anything.
I mean, I understood how the, like, rowing the boat, like, and the strength that it took and stuff, and we lost a lot of those guys, right? So I guess that would be my focus, you know.
Okay.
And hopefully I get like a short rest, in between like the battle and
Yeah.
whenever we pick up with that, just to recoup. So because
Yeah,
it's probably gonna be a
they
long.
would be happy.
I think in my mind, there hasn't been like a short night in this fucking place, and now that we're like feeling it on several different levels, I think that Gideon would just like to be at a point where he can assist. So I'll be prepared for the night.
Yeah, they definitely would love for you to help row, like take a shift at rowing at night, because you are quite a bit short-handed at the moment. Um, Anybody else have anything in particular they're doing?
Bungo will not volunteer to row. Can't really reach. I'd take a little bit of time, not depriving myself of rest, to talk to Fraz about, maybe trying to teach him a first level spell like Cure Wounds or something.
You see, he's actually been
benign.
his nose shoved into Drath's spell book that he went and took from him. But he's more than willing to talk to you, but he seems like he's taken pretty quickly to first mage.
Nice. So I just, offer any kind of, being of assistance.
Yeah,
With the
no, he'd
idea that,
appreciate that.
like,
Yeah. He's very talkative at the moment too. Like he's excited because he's pouring over these new spells and his new position and future. So you help him for a while. The rest of you guys, unless you have anything specific, have your dinner and kind of mill about, and then I'm sure tired from today's events. Gideon, you take on, like, you're basically gonna row for like the midnight shift, right? Like when everybody goes to bed, you're gonna go down and row with the guys for a while and take that shift, and help them out, which does help them out a ton, as they are short guys. So it's pretty quiet down there for the most part. It's getting towards the end of your shift, when you kind of feel a rumble on the boat. Everyone just kind of pauses for a second and looks, and you feel the whole boat kind of shift all of a sudden, as if the water turned underneath you. And there's you feel the boat start to wobble and bounce and really jostle. All of you do, as you're jostled awake to like hard moving and jostling around. And you just hear people yelling and screaming as it, like waking people up.
Can I get to the top? Like run up?
Yeah, you can
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna run to the top.
Yeah, like
fuck,
wake up! Let's go!
You guys are able to get up top, and as soon as you get up top, you feel the boat kind of jostle again as you pull yourselves up. And what you see around you is you see the water looks like it's almost boiling. It's not boiling; it's just so choppy and bouncing and chaotic. And as you see the trees on the shore and the ground is shaking, as you realize the earth is quaking, and it's massive, as the whole area just rattles with this massive earthquake. As you see a crack along a pasture on the side form, the boat is getting out of control for sure. As Central's like, we gotta get this boat out of control, or we're never gonna make it.
Tell me what to do.
Hey, people down in the bottom rowing. I need someone up in the crow's nest. keeping an eye out and looking for calm waters.
Fucking, I'll
I'll
run back
start
down.
climbing up there, and I'll send Memnock out and start circling the boat and
Okay.
looking for. I got the lookout.
Yeah, I run right back downstairs. Like, probably past Bungo as he's running upstairs.
Yeah, I like almost fall off the pole, and I'm like swinging on the rope and gotta grab the pole again.
So what is what's Bungo and Alana doing at this moment?
Alana's gonna go up into where the helm is
Mm-hmm.
and
wheel?
help out up there. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. That's perfect because she's having trouble, steering the ship. Bungo.
I'm gonna go to the hold of the ship where the chest is, and tell the guards that they need their help on deck. Or they're needed to row instantly.
Okay. Gideon, you are trying to get this. You realize the whole boat is out of whack. Like you're gonna try to, it's almost turning around, like going backwards now. As it's bouncing around. There's very little you and the rowers can actively do, except for trying to prevent it from going sideways, which is what you guys are afraid is going to happen. So I'm going to need some athletics rolls. If you could give me 2 of them. Oh, you're muted.
Can we get everybody on like one side of the rows and like try to push it like out so we can correct it? I don't really care about the other side. What do you?
Yeah,
need?
so they're all, I imagine then you're running down and taking the initiative, right? You're saying, hey, everyone over here, we're going to try to straighten the boat. Okay. Go ahead and make a athletics roll. You can make it with advantage.
14 on the first roll and the 12 on the 14, so that's an 18.
Okay. You guys have definitely made a big
20.
benefit.
A 20.
20. You made a huge benefit. So the boat is going straight backwards, but it's no longer kind of spinning with the water, right? Like, so you're not in a great position because you're going almost backwards, but you've kept it from getting sideways and tilting, which is really what you don't want to happen.
Can I get like half the people on the other side of the rows now so we can just kind of steady
Maintain.
it? Yeah. I mean, obviously we can't make any movements, but at least, straighten that out.
Yep. Bones, can you give me either an athletics or an acrobatics check, and then a perception check with advantage as you and Memnock are working together?
I'll go to acrobatics, which is that's a 9. Hold on. I might have something. I might not though.
Okay.
No.
So as
9.
you're getting jostled and tossed around there, you're feel your grip absolutely slip, and as you start to hang from one hand now, you can make another acrobatics or athletics check, or you feel your hand slipping as the boat is getting jostled and.
Oops. Okay, 19.
Yeah. But you're able to, you wait for the right moment as you swing your legs around and grab a hold, and now you're climbing up. Instead of climbing up like this and getting flipped around, you got one on each side of the rope, kind of leveling you out as you get up top. And you see now, though, the shaking has kind of stopped on the ground, like the earthquake has passed, but you see the devastation. It looks like, trees have fallen and the earth has buckled. The water, however, it's still very choppy, right? Like it's ending, but it's going to keep going for a while. So you're scanning out looking for, trouble. So perception with advantage.
Okay. Natural 20.
So you notice immediately that you guys have kind of shifted towards towards the shore a little bit, and there's a massive outcropping of rocks coming up.
Okay. In the time that we've been on this boat, would I have learned the lingo to accurately tell them where? Like, would I be able to say, port side, rocks coming up?
You can give me intelligence roll, I
Okay.
guess, like to see if you remember, like, because you haven't
Yeah,
actively tried to study it, but you might
Right.
have picked up some stuff while you're. It's only been a few days, but
Right. Ugh, 6.
yeah. So you don't know. You're pretty foreign to boat lingo, right? Like,
Okay. I'll send Memnock down because I'm assuming they probably
Mhm.
can't hear me up here very well, at least. So I'll send Memnock down, and I have investment of the Chainmaster. No, voice of the Chainmaster, which lets me speak through him with my voice. So I'll send him down to Gideon. I'll just say, Gideon, it's Bones. There's rocks coming up. We got to move this boat somewhere else. I'll like describe, behind you or whatever, wherever he is, describe to.
they basically want to move away from the shore. That you're.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not right near it, but you're, 100 feet away from the
Moving forward.
shore. Yeah, towards that in
Gotta
that
get away
general.
from the shore.
Yeah, so I'll try to have
Yeah.
the left side hold steady, and we'll turn as hard as we can and try to like do like a little S
I'll go up-
maneuver. I don't
I'll
know
go
how.
to the wheel too. Tell him the same shit.
Okay. Yep. So they're gonna try to steer the ship while you guys go ahead and try to give me another athletics roll.
Whew,
And
man, I got my daughter
if
got me
Alana can
new
hear us,
dice
but-
for Christmas. That's a 24. Rolled a 18.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna come down at some point. It always equals out. I'll ride it high now though.
This is a good time to have
Great.
it.
Yeah, 24.
Earthquake. Yeah.
16 for Alana for her athletics, and 18 for Syndrome for their athletics. So there you see both the Alana and Syndrome are on this, one side, leaning as hard as they can as it's creaking, and all you guys are trying to hold the water, basically holding it, letting it catch and try to spin as you're watching the rocks getting closer and closer. Bones until it shifts this way a little bit, and right before it hits, it shifts back, going backwards, and just barely as the water's starting to calm down a little bit, and as you barely miss the rocks. Bungo, as you run down there, they've already ran up. Whatever guard they had has already ran up top, so the
Okay.
place is actually empty down there.
Can I grab Ren, or at least grab something from Ren on my way down?
You can look for him. Give me a perception roll if you're gonna, because it is chaos, and
Yeah.
or you can spend a certain amount of time doing it and not have to roll. But if you want to try to, huh?
22.
Yep. Okay, so you're able to find him pretty easily. He's up on the top before you go back down.
So give me your kit. Give me your kit.
He tosses it to
And
you.
I'm gonna snag his thieves tool.
Okay.
And I'm heading down. Yeah. And then I head down there, and they're gone. You said.
Yep. So
Okay,
yeah, what are you
so-
doing?
I'm gonna go check out that chest and see if it's. First, I want to see if it's trapped.
Okay.
If I have time. If
Yeah,
not,
give me a perception
I'll,
roll, or you can take whatever time you want. Like, you know.
Here we go. 21. All right.
Okay. It does appear to have a mechanical dart trap. Looks like something would come out and hit you in the hand if you were to mess with it.
Can I attempt to disable it?
Yeah, it'd be like a
Thieves' tool.
thieves' tools to check. However, it is extremely rocky at the moment. So picking locks and doing that type of stuff is going to be very difficult. Probably giving you disadvantage on that type of.
So I know the trap's there. Can I just like open it where I let the dart? If I know the dart's going to shoot out, can I like stand to the side and just open it and let the thing trigger? and
Yeah, so you think that the dart's going to come out while you're picking the lock, like because
Oh,
your
okay.
hands have to be right up
Yeah,
on it.
yeah,
Yeah, so you can
Okay.
definitely try to set off the thing. You could try to do something to just set it off and be out of the way. You can try to do that for sure, but it
Let's
isn't.
disarm it.
Okay, go ahead. Disadvantage on the.
And what's the roll? Is it
DC
dex
14.
roll
Or
plus-
it's thieves' tools. So if you're proficient, you get to add your proficiency modifier. If not, then it's just your dex.
I'm proficient, so it's a dex with my dex modifier
Yeah, it
at
basically.
disadvantage
Yes. Yep.
proficiency. First roll is lame. That's a
Oh no.
12. No, it's an 11 plus 3, 14. Wow. Yeah.
That's the 14.
It's the first roll.
Oh, okay.
Second roll is 13.
So 14 was the DC. Yeah. So unfortunately,
Fuck.
as you try, you do set it off, but it went off before you were ready, and it sticks you in the finger. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
That's not a laugh that makes me feel good.
All right. That's a dirty 20.
So you feel it stick your finger, and you pull it out quick. You try to like squeeze the blood out real fast because you know exactly, and you start to feel your hand go numb a little bit, and you get like a little lightheaded, like you might pass out, but kind of shake your head off. And
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's open this thing.
You can give me open locks, but at a disadvantage as you're trying to manipulate this fine lock in a choppy
Again,
waters.
a deck. All right, so that's 14 plus 3, so 17, and then the second roll, the disadvantage. Same thing, so 17.
Yep. So you're able to. I can just see him like. As it unhooks and falls to the ground.
It's that squat
His
nimbleness.
feet like come off the ground.
Yeah. Slowly lift, like Ark of the Covenant style. That's what's inside.
It's filled. So this is like a 2 foot wide, 4 foot long chest, probably 2 feet deep, and it's just filled with silver. And there's some jewelry. It's thousands of silver pieces plus jewelry and other goods.
Get a Walmart bag.
A bag of holding, man.
Yeah,
Okay, so does any of the jewelry catch my eye as like, oh my god, I have to have it?
Hey, give me a perception roll. Like as you're trying to, like a lot of thieves do, they try to find, like some are really good at it at finding the most expensive thing like quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Perception.
I think there's even isn't there like a class skill? Maybe it's thief or something. They get like a special ability where they can. 18.
Yeah.
So there's a diamond necklace that catches your attention. Like they're small, but there's so many diamonds on this necklace that you're like that, and they look real. That it's probably the most expensive thing, at least from the quick look that you can see.
Oh, so my internal monologue here is like, do I just like grab the stuff that's worth the most, or I just grab some silver and hope that they don't notice that I grabbed the silver?
Mm-hmm.
Not there.
Take both.
Say take the necklace.
I said take both. Take a little silver and the necklace.
All right, so I'm gonna take the necklace, and I'm gonna scrape an armful of silver into my little pouches, and but trying not to take so much as to be over the top noticed.
Okay. You probably get a couple hundred silver.
All right, and then I'm gonna
200 silver in your bags.
relock the chest.
Okay. Just as you're finishing locking that up, you can hear somebody. They're starting to come back down. As the water does start after a few minutes, starts to settle in as the quake ends. You guys are able to get your the boat around. Central kind of collects you guys. I don't know if Flash, if you heard, but you helped at the helm or steer, because it was getting like you guys were about to hit some rocks. And you had to, they were rowing, and it just took everything you guys both had to kind of hold the helm in the correct decisions, but you were able to do it. And Central kind of collects you guys up. She's like, ooh, damn earthquake. I haven't had an earthquake 50 years. Telling you something's going on. This land is just getting worse and worse.
What the fuck's an
I
earthquake?
don't know if you guys know what earthquakes are. I would imagine you've heard of the earth shaking. Yeah, it's not unheard of in Faerun. There's maybe, yeah, you've definitely heard of the earth shaking. You might think it's magic.
Dark
You might think
Well, that's what it
it's
feels
the
like.
earth. The earth is yelling. The earth is screaming. It's like just getting worse and worse. Well, I appreciate your help. Once again, you pulled us out of the fire. I don't know if we'd been able to save the ship if it wasn't for you guys, so we appreciate you. Why don't we go down and I'll dip into the treasure and give you a little reward. We'll all go I know there's a diamond necklace that just perfect for you. No, she does thank you
Try to hand
guys.
that shit back into the top.
And it's probably like 3 o'clock in the morning, so you're tired and kind of head back to bed, making sure getting whatever little sleep you can. When you guys awaken after breakfast, Central will sit you down one more time and kind of wants to thank you again for your help, but she also wants to tell you that as you guys finish your breakfast, she's like, I imagine we got some repairs to the ship. I got to find a full crew, so even if you guys want to stick with us, which we'd love to have you, it's going to be a month or two before we really set out in earnest again. But I just wanted to warn you a little bit about Hearth of the Land. Things have gone rough there for like everywhere around here, and people are desperate. So it's a big city, a lot of crime. Be careful out there. And there's one more thing. The last 20 years or so, it seems people have been losing their memories. I don't know if you guys you might have even noticed way out here a little bit how people just kind of seem to forget things or leave things out. That's why I don't spend a lot of time. I don't spend more than a couple months at a time, and it's worse in the capital, near the keep. So just be aware that people may be acting odd. People don't really remember things. Sometimes I catch myself forgetting things.
Why is this happening here? Wait,
Land's always been cursed. It's just the way of things around here. But it has gotten worse. As I said, the last 10 or 20 years, the land doesn't produce nearly as much food. The weather is terrible. Sun barely peeks out. Forests are dying. Fish gone rotten. It's a bad time in these lands. They've only seemed to gotten worse. And now the earthquakes, earth shaking, and rifts opening up.
Who cursed it? And why?
It's always been that way. That's how it feels to me.
You forgot.
Have you been here forever?
Maybe I knew at one point. Yeah, I was born in the capital city.
Yeah.
You think
Been here for-
everyone's forgotten what happened?
That's the thing about forgetting something. I don't even know if I ever knew it.
Obviously. My apologies.
It's a great quote. I'm gonna keep that.
Don't forget it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Syndra, we'll perhaps check back in with you from time to time. But if you're going to be here for a month or more, that's great to know that you're around.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you, like I said. And if you really are, I know you say you're from out. We don't get a lot of people from other lands very often. But like I said, if you're looking for information about this area or whatever you're trying to do, Sir Robin the Fine, as he calls himself, would definitely be a place to start. Be wary too, or they can't necessarily be trusted, but the Vistani, those gypsies, they seem to know things that others don't. I don't trust them, but
What's the guard like around here, Syndra?
Sithicus' military used to be extremely powerful. The Knights of the White Rose. Now that there's no war machine, there's no battles to be fought, they've the army's kind of taken over. It's strict, if not fair. It's firm, if not fair. Um,
Okay.
they're going to come down hard on anything, but they can also be softened with coin, no doubt, as corruption runs rampant.
Speaking of which, you're gonna offload that Heroes Wart. So
It'll take a couple
when
days, but
we yeah. So maybe we check back in with you, see how that went for a couple days.
Could I you smoke it, right?
mm-hmm.
Could I just get a little baggie to go?
Gives you a big old satchel. It's like this super fine smelling tobacco. They hand you a pipe, a nicely carved pipe.
Mm-hmm.
That's Krenner's. That was Krenner's. It's a dwarf with a dwarf beard, and then when you puff the smoke, it comes out the dwarf's nose.
That's awesome.
Printers.
I mean,
Krenner's one of the one
guys
of her
we killed.
lieutenants who that he killed. Turned on him. Like,
I'll like pick up a rock or something, like just some I don't know, some small thing, and I'll like carve a little C into the pipe. So to remember him.
it's K, but
Yeah.
Oh,
K-R-E.
Yep.
It's all right.
I was gonna say
like-
something,
I-
but then I was like, nope.
I
this
draw a
guy-
line at like the back of the C,
Right,
so
yeah,
you
yeah.
get A, but it's the C. shape. Good enough.
He was a dick, anyways.
Yeah. I mean, misguided.
Now it's CK.
Well, we should be pulling into the port by nightfall, so prepare
Did
yourselves.
we get a long?
Yeah.
Did we get a long rest?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yep, everybody got a long rest.
Yeah. Hey, where do you want me for this?
Who are you asking that?
Syndrome, like what positions? You bring it up. Should we be worried about something? Like, are you inspected upon arrival, or I don't know how this.
No,
thing works.
I've paid off the.
Oh, okay.
No. I just meant in general. The town has seen better times, and it's just rough. People do desperate things when it's rough, and the guards, they don't have anything better going on, and they'll take advantage of people. And
What's the war machines? You had war
machines?
machines?
well, yes, we have siege engines and such. Yes, the lord of this land was, from my understanding, quite a military tactician.
That's a bit intense, though, right?
She kind of looks over and is like, I forget his name.
No, you didn't. And I like boop her forehead.
Like, nope, still can't remember. Frank. So Frank, I believe.
Ah, yes, Frank. Frank Furter.
All right, well, I'm going to go pack my stuff up. Help the guys down below. Get there safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys are, as the night falls, rain starts to set in as you guys look ahead, and you see some lights up ahead on the river as you guys start to come into view. It's like, there it is. As you guys get closer, what you guys immediately notice is that this is a rather large town. You can't see much, you can't see the whole city, so it's hard to tell exactly. But it appears to be rather large. What really catches your attention is the defenses. Like, it has an extremely tall and stout wall, many sentry pillars on each corner, and you see there's a big platform with a catapult or trebuchet. It's hard to tell where you're at. Like, there's an outer perimeter, like barricade, and and all that. What else you notice though is there's vines growing all over it, moss. You don't see that many guard. Like you see quite a few. You don't see nearly enough to man all of that stuff. You still see a decent amount of guards, but so even though you can tell this town is old and it has been built for war, basically, it's clear that it hasn't seen that in a long time, or they don't take care of it like they used to. As you get closer, the smell of stale mud, kind of that idea, of like the roads constantly being toiled over, and kind of that stale mud smell is the main smell, which is better than the BO, right? Like some towns immediately start to stink of just human, but it definitely assaults your senses as you guys approach. Um, um, as you guys pull up, she says, "Just give me a little bit of time to grease the wheels here, and then we can offload you. And I can, if you're looking for a tavern, I can point you in the right direction." As you guys pull up, you see the port guards that meet you there. They're all elves, or maybe you see one that's probably maybe half elf, as he's got some stubble and such. But they're all elves. As you've seen, there's more elves and half elves, and then humans and such here. Um, but Central meets them on the dock, and they're talking for a little bit as she reaches over and hands them a big leather pouch. They tuck it away, and they nod and walk off. Comes back. You're all set. I'll have the men unload and get my contact about the hero's work, and we'll get you paid.
Sweet.
You
Yeah.
mentioned a tavern.
Indeed, yes. The sharpest thorn is what they call it. She's like, go down this main road, and you see it's set up in a grid. Kind of, you can see like roads going this way, and then she says it crosses. It's pretty well organized. She says if you take this main road from the port all the way down to the other end of town, you'll see it right there at the intersection. You'll see the far wall. By the time but it's one of the better inns in town and tavern.
All right.
And this this city, is this Sithicus, or what's the name of the city again?
Arthaland, like it's a Elven word. Anybody who speaks Elven would understand. Like it's an Elven name of a city. HAR-THELAN.
Partholon, is that right?
Yep.
Cool. I got it spelled different, but I can pronounce it right, so I'm gonna keep it that way.
All right.
What do you guys doing?
I mean-
Alana will stand next to Bungo, and she'll just lean down a little bit and say, just observatorially speaking, I haven't seen this many elves in a really long time. That's it.
Is that a bad thing? Are we in trouble?
It depends on how these ones are.
Also, noticing that, Alana, kind of realizing that it's odd that not being in an elven, or what you would think of as like an elven kingdom, there being so many elves. What also catches your attention is, and this isn't exclusive, it's not like every elf is magically clean all the time and put together and stuff. However, something that's caught your attention is none of these elves, they all look like downtrodden, kind of covered in dirt, peasantry elves, which is not unseen ever where you're from, but very rare, And if you have been to actual elven settlements, they don't really have a poverty like that at all. And so that is odd. And that they outnumber humans 2 or 3 to 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to say Bones.
I'd say
It's just like
Broke
pull my hood up a little bit and just try to fit in.
Yeah,
So you guys
my
make your
first
way
comment
down.
was misguided. I mean, we're all as non-humans are going to feel pretty comfortable, I think, in a non-human city, right?
I'm gonna still feel like the pink one out of the non-pink everything.
Yeah. It's the horns.
I mean,
Gideon and Ren seem, and Alana, she always, but actually Gideon and Ren look the most out of place,
yeah, that's what happened.
even more so than Alana probably in this. At least from what you've seen in this world, is like there hasn't been a lot of humans.
The two normal guys.
Yeah, the two most
Weird.
normal looking guys seem like kind of the most out of place at the moment. Also, you don't see a lot of halflings and gnomes and dwarves. You've seen a few, like one of each kind of. But they are around, but they're pretty rare too.
Yeah.
But as you guys make your way down the main walkway, what you notice is there's a lot of poverty and the place is looking a little rough. You do see some nice houses, and there's clearly a wealth divide here as well as you make your way through. Anybody who has history can make a roll. This is probably going to be one of the major ones Ren should have been at.
Yeah.
It is master. I'm sorry, what? History.
I have a half proficiency.
Yeah, bards can make a roll for anything. Yeah, because they're a jack of all trades, so they technically consider, I think. No.
So no.
No, yeah,
11.
Oh. Bones.
I don't have.
Oh, okay, okay. None of this architecture looks recognizable. Some of the writing, like on some of the buildings, is a language none of you have ever seen, unless you have some way of that you magically comprehend languages. It looks foreign to you. Yeah. But as you make your way down, you see a lot of guards. A lot of them are, just hanging out, drinking. They're wearing their chainmail with the white rose on it. You guys have found a dead body. Looked like that body had been there a long time. That messenger who had the journal, that armor, same armor. A lot of them are kind of, hassling people, and, they're eyeballing you, and they're most exclusively elves, or maybe some half elves in there as well. But you make it down to the tavern, and you see that there's this sign, the sharpest thorn, and it's just got a big sharp, a thorn symbol with like a sheen at the tip, situating its point. And you kind of hear some noise coming.
Well,
Well,
I'm certainly not going to be
Let's
the
go.
one to introduce us to this thing.
seems as
Drinks on
though
me, guys.
it is it's the time in the play when I guess I have to go forward, right? I mean, I'm the only elf.
That would be true. I'll be right behind you, though. These guys look great
Yeah.
for the first time.
Just have your hand on your sword, everybody.
I don't have a
It's
sword.
always not to put everybody on edge, but everybody should be ready to grab their weapon at any time.
Yeah. And then I'll kick the door in. No.
Yeah.
I'll open the door.
As you swing it open, the waft of warm air, smell of body, and a hearth and meat and potatoes and ale. It's the smell of a tavern, right? What you see that catches your attention is it's about half full. There's maybe 20 or 30 people in the tavern. Um, it has an upstairs that clearly leads to bedrooms. There's a long bar on the far side with what appears to be an older elven man. He's got some wrinkles, which is rare, um, but they're pronounced. He's got a white apron. He's just taking drinks and food's coming out, and you see there's some music going on in the corner. A couple of people are singing. A couple of guys are like singing a drinking song, kind of. You see that one of the guys that catch your attention is he's dressed with like a white undershirt and brown pants, and he's got like a deep pink cape with a brown hat and a pink feather, and he's up there. He's one of the guys singing the drinking song with the other gentleman. But it's pretty lively, and as you push the door open and step in, and it doesn't really change anything until you all kind of step in, and then there's this kind of quiet as the drinking song keeps going, but you see everybody's kind of looking over at first before you just hear the bartender.
do I
What can I get
recognize
for
the
you,
song?
fellas and lady? And then everybody kind of goes back to talking and singing loud. You know, kind of picks back up as the bartender clearly cut the tension there with the, and he's looking past some people.
Hey, we're new, obviously. We look kind of crazy.
Yeah.
We're just looking for
So
drink and
smooth.
board.
He kind of get pausing for a second as he looks you guys all over.
They're
New,
you know,
you're
they're from
new.
out of town. You know, I've just been
What
showing
parts
them
are
around.
you from? Where are you from?
Well, I'm from around here, but they're all they're from south.
East, west, north.
He's kind of looking at you a little bit. Looks past you. Let me get a deception roll from you.
Yeah.
Why?
17.
So he's looking you up and down. He doesn't seem to believe you're telling him the truth. He literally narrows his eyes at you and he says, I guess it's really none of my business anyways where you're from. Said a drink. I think I got a few rooms left. Better get them now before you get taken up.
Yes, that'd be great.
I got 2 rooms, 5 silver a piece. Hey, the price is up. People are out.
Right.
Silver.
You got a problem with that?
Boys, I got
That seems a
this.
fair
And
price.
I will like put 10 right in front of him. Like, I have
Wait. Well,
There you go.
that's for the rooms and drinks and such. You know, we can sort that out at the end of the night.
this. Of course.
All right. Anything that these guys want, these guys and Gail want, on me.
Oh, so you're all paying for each other. Excellent.
Gideon.
He's gonna charge each of you the full. No, he does. He brings you some drinks, and there's some people kind of looking, and but it goes back to normal. You know, you
Hey.
see Ren get kind of shoulder checked a little bit, just enough for him to not be, you know, as the human walks by. Gideon stands enough with his weapon and his armor that nobody's necessarily going to shoulder check him. But one of the elves, drunken elves, gives Ren. But Ren graciously, bless that slide. In fact, he buys him a drink, and they're going to talk about it. But no, you can get that feeling a little bit that there's a little bit of tension there. And he brings you out some drinks as you guys are taken to a table.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, yes, thank you very much.
What do you,
Thank you. He's counting the
what
silver.
do you got in this joint?
Sorry?
What do you got to eat in this joint?
We got some beef and potatoes. We got some ham and rice.
Yeah.
I'll take some.
You know,
ham.
we got some. And then that sauce.
Turduckins.
Yeah. You can mix that up if you want. You can do beef and rice and ham. You know.
I'll take ham and potatoes. I'm really be quite nice. I won't say it that. You know, I'll start being that excited. Then I'll be like, all right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just
he
to
brings
play
out,
this.
out some food. You know, you're probably going to spend, you know, another 5 silver total for everybody to drink and eat, I would think.
I got it.
Okay. All right. I mean, I did just lift 200 silver.
Yeah,
from the
this
bowels
is like
of
the
ship.
and out of
I don't know
character. This
that.
is like
I don't
Todd.
know
This has
that.
got to go against Todd, like giving away this money. So you should
Yeah,
take
real
it.
life does not happen.
And back in character.
Um,
How
okay,
is
so
it?
we got some rooms.
I guess as we're sitting down and we're ordering food and stuff, and I see the elf in pink singing.
He's actually human.
He's actually human. Okay.
Yeah, he's
So
the
then-
only one of the few other, like, you see them around, but they're always kind of like, they almost seem like the outcasts a little bit.
Right.
It's not that elves and humans don't mingle to some degree, but it's definitely can tell there's a
You and me.
yeah, exactly. There's a
guys
you and
do
me.
not.
Exactly. Yes, you feel that kind of mentality.
Okay. So.
But he seems to be. Everybody's just he's got a whole group of elves and half elves and a few like everybody just seemed to have a great time with whoever this gentleman is.
That guy Robin's nickname was what again?
It's the man in pink. But
The fine.
But does he?
This is our fucking guy.
Wouldn't you think
I'm
that
not
would
gonna
be-
say that to you. I'm fucking inspecting him. That was Andy's ADHD speaking out of turn. Because I want to just I just want to look at him as all the food's coming down and just kind of the interaction with Ren, and luckily I didn't have with this, and he's a fucking talker. I hate talkers, right? But he's up there having fun. I'm trying to remember of the bard's name that we met in Cardin. Was he a human or was he an elf?
Gathon.
Gathon,
He
yes.
he was a elf.
He was an elf. All right, that's as far
Yeah.
as my little daydream goes. I'm just gonna keep an eye on him and
Because the last bard you met, that's fair. Yeah, the last bard was a piece of shit. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's not forget
Yeah.
that you're also traveling with a piece of shit bard.
Well, yeah, but that piece of shit bard saved my life. One almost cost me it, and I guess from Gideon's perspective, he would like to just perceive. Not that I'm a very perceiving guy, but just
You got your eye on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That would have been more simple to say. I got my eye on him.
No, I love it. Yeah, I love how it was great. Yeah, of course. I didn't even think of that. So it's funny. Of course, you'd be wary of the bard. But they stopped singing and they're drinking and he just really does seem like to be the life of the party. He does. He looks like he's in his. He looks great for his age. You're sure he's probably in his early 40s, but you could be he could be mistaken for much younger probably. But you could just tell there's a few.
Well,
yeah, there's a few.
Because I'm late 30s and I look like I'm early 50s.
Well, he definitely seems like he enjoys himself and he's having a good time. He definitely has noticed you. There's no doubt. He's looked over at you multiple times. At one point, if you're not really trying to hide it, if you kind of do notice you staring, he gives you a nod.
Let's look right back at him.
This is goes back to doing his thing. But you guys get your food and your drink, and
Hey, I think that's our guy.
Okay.
Are you sure? I thought you were just nodding at all the pretty ones.
No. What?
Oh, sorry. Can't take a joke.
He is kind of fancy.
Right? I like the pink.
This guy's supposed to have us
That's
get
a
out
bold
of here,
statement.
or
It's
know
great.
stuff.
I already don't
Well, I
believe him,
think that-
if I'm gonna be honest.
He
know,
hasn't
have the
said
potential.
anything either.
So,
At the very least, he probably knows the city well. He seems popular enough.
I really don't want to be a part of this conversation. So,
Unfortunately, it's got to be you, or I don't know if this one's on me.
no,
I saw
I
that
think
one.
I think there's one
Look
person
over
that's
at the
meant for
bartender,
this.
make eye contact with him.
Bungo.
Yeah.
Hey,
Come on.
this is your jam, right? I can't believe he's up
Wanna
there
talk to him?
outplaying you.
Yeah, go talk
to him.
he's actually a pretty good singer. I just don't trust him.
He's probably better than you are.
What? I don't believe I'm hearing this.
I mean, I'm not saying.
You going wrong with this? That's messed up. I've been traveling with you for a month now, man. You don't just
Hey.
God damn it. I mean, and I'm gonna look over see what Robin's drinking, if I can tell
He's
from
got looks
here.
like
And then,
probably a wine. That's what most people drink. Like it's 2-1 wine to ale, which is again their wine around here is they're very proud of their wine.
Arky, what's that guy? What's the bard drinking over there?
Oh, he's
Give
got
me a bottle.
right the 5 silver for the bottle.
It's 5 silver all the time.
Everything's,
5 silver.
we're in a weird place where everything's 5 silver. Hey, you just throwing out numbers to the new guy.
We didn't realize that we walked.
I
in the
mean,
wrong
10
silver
silver.
Smiths, and it's like some different bar.
Yeah,
Everything's 5 silver.
everything's. It's a simple economy. Everything's 5 silver. You just want to have the most 5 silvers. Yeah.
I take the bottle and a glass, a couple glasses. I'm gonna make my way over to presumably Robin.
And that's when I got out of there, my friends. And I tell you, I didn't get out of there, but it was just the skin of my teeth. Her husband coming through the window at me as I slid down the gutter. I tell you, it was a good night. It was a good night. They all laugh and you jump in with a laugh like
Yeah. This is a great story. It's a great story.
oh, another
Yeah.
you appreciate it. Yeah, I always appreciate a fan or someone who enjoys my stories. I got a few.
Yeah. And let me top you off here, boss.
Oh, I would appreciate it. Much obliged.
Well, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? My name is Bungo.
Bungo.
Coscavo. Yeah. Pleasure to meet you.
So, Robin, the fine they call.
Oh, well,
Sir
it
Robin,
shows.
really. I hate to be that guy. Technically,
Protocol.
Sir Robin the fine.
Protocol must be observed, of course.
I was knighted.
I am just Bungo.
I was knighted. So,
Wow.
It
That sounds like a story too.
oh, it's quite a story. I have so many stories. He kind of looks you across the eyes
How
there, Bungo.
fine is he?
Oh, he's so fine.
Shut the
Right.
fuck up.
But he kind of glanced across you, a more serious look comes across his face. You kind of catch it. As he's like, perhaps you give me a moment and I'll come over to the table and properly introduce myself. I'm quite interested in meeting you and your friends, Bungo.
Sounds good.
And if you got that bottle of wine, we can absolutely talk.
All right. Yeah, you come on over. We'll keep that glass full. All right. I didn't know if you know it, Robin, but I'm a storyteller too.
If you care.
About a bottle of this cold das. All right. I'm going back to the table.
He says, I'll be over there shortly. As he kind of goes back to his shortly. Oh,
shit! It's a Harry
guys, I met Robin. That there is Robin the finest storyteller this side of the cursed thorn.
Oh yeah.
You guys
come over and drink.
Yeah, he comes over and it doesn't take him long. Comes over. I'm sorry, he was an old friend of mine, but I always like to introduce myself to any newcomers. We don't get a lot of new faces around here. So Robin.
Oh yeah, we're
fine.
apparently from the
south. You're from the south? Yes, I heard.
Yeah.
The Southlands.
Yeah.
South side. But he's probably about 6 foot tall, green eyes, slender but built. But again, older than he probably presents. He sits down.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm Sir Bones, the Bony.
The Bony.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of, well, it's pleasure. My lady. You are
Alana, Sir Robin.
Alana. You're. It's as if a painting had stepped off the wall.
Oh, stop!
I must
I'm sure
draw
you say
you.
that all day.
Some of them, but
I
It's,
lean
it's
over to
the
Gideon
color,
and
I
say,
swear.
"Good.
He's
He's
good.
good."
we don't get a lot of strangers around here. In fact, hardly get any anymore. Good to see.
Yes, well,
Why
How'd
is
you
that?
guys get here?
told, um, on a boat with a woman named Sindril.
No, I mean, how did you get here?
Oh,
How did you
well,
find yourself in this land?
we're actually kind of looking for some help on that.
Yes, we don't get a lot of strangers anymore.
How safe is it to have a conversation like that right here?
Mm.
I'd say there's probably better. Actually, he kind of looks around. You know, honestly, they'd probably forget it if they heard it.
Heard
About what
about
you?
that.
Let's just cards on the table this shit right now, Robin. Sir Robin. Sorry, protocol must be observed. We came to this land through some mist. Or no. It was
Kind of landed here.
Portal
we
with
kind of
mist.
landed here against our will of sorts. Wasn't exactly our choice. We find ourselves very disoriented. And nothing really makes sense to us here. And we're traveling here to Hearthaland in search of answers. Let's try to get back to our own lands. And we were told that you might be the man to steer us in the right direction.
I might be the worst person to talk about, to give advice on getting home. But as I said, we don't get many strangers, but I do know the feeling of being a stranger.
Truly,
Indeed. Been
you're
20 years.
you're not exactly an elf, right?
20 years I've spent here. I also came from far lands. But you won't find another like me. They
You
lose
don't
they
say.
lose their memories, thoughts. It's gotten worse over the decades,
Did you pass through a town
but
called
not me.
Carden
I've yes, I know Cardin.
when you first got here?
Not when I no, but I've been to almost every corner. So because they lose their minds, but not me. What's everybody's passive perception and or insight? You can choose.
14.
14.
17 for both.
Rand's got crazy high.
Yeah, I've got 13 insight.
17, and what else was there? 14.
Mhm.
Yeah. So with the 17, so you see that he says, but they all lose their minds or their memories. He's like, but not me. Kept mine. You see, he just spins a ring on his finger as he says that for a second before he kind of stops himself. I remember everything.
So, what brought you here?
I remember I was with friends of mine going on a great adventure. Found ourselves trapped in an old farmhouse.
Interesting story so far.
Dark,
Trapped by what?
You ever
foul creatures of the night. They looked like us, but they were not us. we held out strong in the whole farmhouse. But night wouldn't come. Or dawn wouldn't come. Only night would fall. I remember thinking that I was ready to go. And if I was going to go, I wasn't going to be turned into one of the, whatever those were. That's when we heard them. As I knew this was the time. This was it. That's when I noticed, though, the mist enter her eyes. And in that moment, I wanted to live. I found myself here. The mist resided. There it is, resided. But I was alone. Found one of my allies. Years later, survived. Couldn't remember me though. Thought I was crazy.
Hmm.
But I see you guys remember.
For now.
Indeed. He says, points at Bones. Indeed. Something to
Why do you
think
still
about while
remember?
you still can. I have my ways.
Hmm.
My mind is sharp.
Have you ever tried to get out of here?
I have tried many times. You think, I'll just leave. I don't care, I'll just leave. The mist won't let you. You start to hear their voices in your head, singing. Your mind becomes befuddled, and you find yourself back where you started. See, it kind of looks like a little bit of crazed look in his eye. Oh, I've tried to get out. Won't let you. The land won't let you. Leans in. But I imagine you have many questions. Perhaps we'll grab another drink and we'll answer those questions. And this is probably a good place to take a.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn.
Locked in, man.
Yeah, bro.
I fucking hate this bard, but I'm starting to like this bard.
I like him. I'm sold on him. He's our friend.
Sold on him. 100%. Yeah.
All right. So we'll be back in like 10, 15 minutes. Catch ya.
I
good. Screen is off. And there we are. Back at it.
All right.
Everybody's
You're in
dead.
conversation with Robin the Fine. Just kind of, yeah. Told you his story.
Can I just eyeball his ring and see if I can discern whether it's normal or?
Give me a perception roll for sure. And do you have like Arcana or?
I do have Arcana.
Then yeah, give me an Arcana check rather than because you can see it. It's not like he's.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to see details. Okay.
Woo!
It is. So. You would not be surprised at all because the material it's made out of, the way it's designed, you can see some like intricate carvings that you think are actual runes. Jesus, runes. And so yeah, you would like it, you can't know for sure, but like and the way he's like kind of messes with it sometimes and like covers it when he talks, like he doesn't. Yeah, he seems to always kind of have it covered up if he can.
Okay. All right.
So, your story's quite similar to ours. We got caught up, surrounded in a building, made our way to a secret basement, I guess you could say, and puff.
Saved by the mist.
Yeah. And we threw a frog in and never found it? I don't think.
No, you gave it to Bimbor, but yeah.
Oh, no, that's right. I gave it away.
What were the names of your old party members? Yeah, if you want to think about that.
Yeah, no. Of course, I remember everything.
Oh,
So
yeah.
why would I not remember their names?
In case we run into them.
Sir Pellinor was a knight that we traveled with, and and of course
No.
Niles. Niles of he was our wizard. He could sling spells. You see, I was going to write their story. Yes, I know. We had a scout. Ironically, her name was Scout. She did a great job.
Was Scout a dog or?
There's a and then of course Saint Albert, our faith healer, our holy man. The eclectic group as it sounds now as I say it, but
Quite.
so I remember them
Well,
well.
if we ever run into any of them,
Of course, I would almost rather I not see them.
I know that this is just
Pix-
Damien, but do I get the sense that he's lying? Did he come by himself?
You could no, he doesn't seem. You can make an insight roll if you want, but he on the outside right now. There's no reason like that you could think of why he would it.
14.
He doesn't appear to be lying. No. He just had a few glasses of wine. It took him a minute more because of that, and then because of his.
Okay. So you've no leads for us then.
Oh, no, but there's some information, of course. If I wish I had the exuberance of youth, I do have some theories, but I'm getting older and made a life for myself here, and kind of looks resigned a little bit there for a second before he kind of. But I can absolutely, if you'd like to know where you're at, or I don't know how much you do know. Perhaps you've been able to piece some things together, but
well, we know
what do you
about
know?
the mist. We know we can't get out that way. We know of.
Do you know of him?
Whom?
Lord of this land.
No, I believe our
I got a
one of
story
our
for you then.
companions told something about him, but
That's the first thing you should understand. Because there is no Scythicus, at least the way it is, without him. No, there was a mighty warrior. And of course, as many do, he let jealous passions and neglect of duty led him to lose all that was dear to him. His love, his life, his very spirit. His tale is a descent into darkness and evil. His name is Lord Soth. If you like, I can tell you his story. Or at least what I've gathered in my 2 decades of this
Please.
being in this land.
Please do.
every detail, please.
Very well.
I'll reach over, grab the wine thing, and fill up his glass for him.
I filled myself a glass too.
Everybody scoots in a little bit. Well, I guess where to start? Let's start in the beginning. What I know, Lord Soth was mortal once, nearly 400 years ago. He fought on the side of good in a distant land called Salamnia. In those days, Lord Soth was a knight of Salamnia. Through deeds and great daring and chivalry, he earned each of the order's honors: the crown, the sword, and of course the rose. He built the mighty Dargar Keep of rose-red stone and married the beautiful Lady Galadria. Proud he was of his wife, though it was duty alone. Kind of eyes you guys for a second. Duty alone that made him wed her. Proud he was of his fortress strong. Pride, as the saying goes, the greater the pride, the farther the fall. And what caused this proud warrior to fall? Desire for a woman, of course. A woman who's forbidden to him. Possessing her would make a mockery of his wedding vows. Possessing him would contradict her own promise to the gods. But then, as the saying goes, the sweetest fruits lie behind the stoutest fence. Lady Beatrix was her name. She was an elf maiden. She traveled with 13 other maids in the mighty city of Palantheus. There she would pledge herself to the god Paladine, the valiant warrior, father of all good, the platinum dragon of the evening sky. The maids were beset by bandits and taken prisoner. There were dozens of rogues, perhaps even hundreds. Lord Soth met with their leader, a fearsome ogre, in single combat. He fought the brute in accordance with the rules of fair combat, besting him. The bandits fled, and Lady Beatrix fell into Lord Soth's arms. An innocent spark of love was kindled. But all too soon, that love, it became a flame of lust. The elf maid had vowed to serve her god, but had not yet sworn a priestess, and so had no formal oath to break. Lord Soth, however, he was bound to his wife by sacred marriage oath. His vows were binding until death do us part. There was only one way to break those vows. And so Lord Soth committed the ultimate sin. He ordered his vassal, his seneschal, a vain and evil man named Caradoc, to murder Lady Galadria. What should have been a bed of love was turned into a deathbed. Blood on her bedclothes showed of the murder, though the body was never found. With unseemly haste and without a tear of mourning for his dead wife, Lord Soth took to Lady Beatrix to live with him in Dargard Keep. He thought his bloody secret would be kept safe. But the elf maids who accompanied Beatrix had sharp ears and keen eyes. Somehow they learned of Lord Soth's crime. Somehow their gossip reached the ears of the High Knights, Called before a council of his peers, Lord Soth was found guilty of murder, adultery, and dishonoring the vows of his order. He was dragged through the streets of Palanthas and in shame and sentenced to death. The execution would take place the very next day, and it would be done with his own sword. However, that night, 13 knights who had remained loyal to Lord Soth rescued him from his prison. The Knights of Salamia besieged the keep, demanding that Soth emerge to meet his fate. The siege was long and harsh, but Daragard keep held. Just as things were at the darkest, the god Paladine spoke to Lord Soth. The knight's sins would all be forgiven if he undertook one last heroic task. Success would mean the knight's death, but also bring about his salvation. Paladine ordered Lord Soth to journey to the city of Istar, where the king priest of the city was to demand of the gods the power to eradicate all evil. Unless the priest could be stopped, the gods would retaliate by utterly destroying the city. Only Soth could prevent this cataclysm. Lord Soth set out for Istar, but he never reached the city. What stopped him? He never reached Istar because of the fiery hand of jealousy gripped his heart. One of the elf maids whispered in his ear that Beatrix had been unfaithful to him, that the son Beatrix had born was not Soth's own. Infuriated, Lord Soth rode home to confront his wife and her imagined crimes. At the same moment, he raised his mailed fist up. King Priest of Istar raised his voice to the heavens, and the city was destroyed, along with the keep, Lord Soth's keep. Even as she was consumed by the flames, Lady Beatrix begged her husband to save the life of their son, but Lord Soth turned away. He lost his wife, his son, his life, and his spirit that day. But something evil lived on, empty inside his chest. So Lord Soth was reborn, born into something of darkness and evil. Heartless, a mockery of a man, a creature with an icy voice and a chilling touch, being capable of killing with a mere word, causing racking pain with a mere glance, a creature capable of turning the bravest warrior, kind of eyes Gideon, the bravest warrior's blood to turn to ice, burning the holiest priest to cinders. Creature who bends the shadows to his will and laughs in the face of the gods. A night of death. It kind of falls back a little bit and let you guys take in some of that. So basically what you got from it is that he was married and then betrayed his wife, had his wife killed by his servant, Caradoc, to have his new wife, but then he couldn't get out of his head. One of the elf maidens whispered in his ear that his son wasn't his own, and he went and confronted them and let a cataclysm fall, right? So his actions, he betrayed his oaths for lust and through jealousy and rage and anger, basically killed his wife and his second wife, had his first wife killed, just, basically fell completely to all the terrible things and allowed an entire city get destroyed. And he was consumed in the fire along with his wife and his son. But something else remained. There's more to his story, though he doesn't know everything. Even he doesn't. The Vistani won't speak to him. Says there may be a few things they know, but even in the 20 years, the gypsies that
they treat with Lord Soth.
No, they have a camp here, but they don't speak to outsiders more than they'll do business with us, but I haven't been able to get any answers from them.
There was Vistani in our caravan the days before we came here. I wonder if that might be place for us to visit.
Hmm.
Perhaps they'll talk with us.
So, that is what you face. But what's more important to understand is when we speak of the land or we speak of Lord Soth, we're speaking of the same. The land is as he is. They're one and the same. But things have been odd the last 10 or 15 years. He's no longer seen, hasn't been seen in a decade or more. He's retreated to his keep. Can't get in or gain entrance without an invitation, which I don't know who would want to be invited. But there is one possibility, but it's
Where is
beyond
this
me.
keep?
Well, there's the Great Chasm, 2 days north of here, and it's supposedly there, but they say without invitation, you can't get in. I've never tested. I've seen it. I've been there. Terrifying. It'll send chills up your spine. I didn't get anywhere near it. They say that the voices they sing. I've heard them on the wind. Closer you get to the place. Supposedly drive a man mad.
Why would we want to go there?
That's what exactly. Exactly.
Understood.
He's like, that is why I'm here drinking and not, But again, if the land is closed, Soth and him are the land. But of course, yeah, that would be a death sentence. The only other thing I've come across is when, so the rest of, from the last that I was able to find in my travels, and I have traveled this land, from border to border, was the story is, I'm not sure the story behind it exactly, but Soth was also taken by the mists. The story is supposedly he seeking revenge as he always did, but apparently he had first landed in a land called Barovia, domain of some count, before making his way into Sithicus, the land he now rules. I believe Lord Soth, from the stories and my studies, seeks one thing: to leave Sithicus as well. His power here is great. I believe he is as much of a prisoner as we are, or even more so. He is a creature of holy evil. There is something else. So there is a noble family that, from the stories, they traveled from Barovia with Soth. They were always close, as close as one could be to the Black Rose. But some say now they seek to usurp him, that he's abandoned. So I want nothing to do with House Carver. That's
House Carver.
That's Kaarvar. I don't know. It's spelled Carver.
Kaar.
Carver. Yeah. Carver.
KAAR.
Yeah.
They serve Lord Soth.
Well, yes, but there's some saying that they are perhaps. They say that they've been moving. Their home, you see, goes with them.
How do you
stutter? The house goes with them. Oh, I don't understand it either, but from my understanding, they travel with their home.
wanted just to grow some legs and walks along with them?
Seen crazier things. Great manner, so there have to be some big legs. However, they used to go back and forth between the keep whenever they wanted. So, but again, that is why I'm here drinking. You know, it's unfortunate that but the good thing is every few months I can tell my stories again, my jokes. I get
They forget.
it's new to them.
Does it get boring?
He says, devastatingly. Devastating.
Bones just like gets up and walks outside.
It's just like a deep
Yeah.
breath. So just
Yep.
fucked up.
100%. 100%.
He's
Robin, is there? This is great stuff. I'm gonna pick your brain on some more mundane stuff. Is there anywhere we could get a map of the region?
I think I could get you one wrangled up.
We greatly appreciate that. And then also, we're looking to potentially stock up in town. The caravan we're a part of course, went to hell when we came here. And so we've been living a little hand to mouth since then, working where we can. And we're looking to kind of replenish our supplies. I'm talking equipment, potions.
Oh, in the morning,
Things
yeah,
like
you'll be
that.
able to get all that stuff. If you're looking like, yeah, there's armor and a general store and multiple things like that. There's also a few like there's a alchemy store, poultices and stuff, and sometimes they'll have some other interesting stuff. And there's also like a rare, it's mostly like antique stuff, but sometimes we'll get some interesting things in as well. But
And you also said that. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good.
You also said at some point that you'd have to be invited to the chasm. What did you mean by that?
To the keep, to the castle, where Soth.
Yeah.
To get, they say that no one can get in without being invited. And they say the closer you get, you can hear the voices of these women singing. They befuddle the mind and.
All right.
Say they're some of the Beatrix's maidens died in that fire. Now sing of his past misdeeds nightly. At least that's what is the myth. You gotta understand too, people's memories didn't used to be this bad. There was always a fog. I always thought it was weird that nobody could tell you, like, nobody had any interest in going to new places, or like, when you brought up leaving Sithicus, they just didn't even seem to register it. And they all seem to have kind of but it's gotten worse. Just like the earthquakes, the shaking of the earth, those have happened more and more. Something's not right. It's gotten worse over the last few months, but definitely the last 10 years have been getting worse and worse. But the last few months, it's gotten worse.
This is definitely not bedtime story material. I'm not gonna sleep well tonight.
There's one more thing I would be remiss if I didn't tell you. If you run into, there's the seneschal or the vassal of kind of the hand of Soth. Um, in the story, in his history, the Caradoc is the murderous man who actually killed his wife and kids for him. It's like, but he died, um, and he's got a new one though. He would make sure go to his prop or to his cities and kind of be the enforcer and such in the person. He's a mean, disgusting, and savage and violent dwarf as Azrael. You'll know him by his big white mutton chops and his big white mustache. He'll be the only dwarf you see maybe in your whole life that doesn't have a beard, just mutton chops and giant mustache. Balding on top, white hair. Don't let that fool you though. If you run into him, just he walks around like he runs Sithicus, which I mean, no one's seen Black Rose, as it were, so long then.
Well, who does the Order of the White Rose report to then?
Azrael. Ultimately, I mean, there's like levels of it, and but ultimately, he would be the guy, or Lord Soth directly, but no one's seen him, so.
You think he's still here? You've been around for a while.
I think because we're still here, Sithicus is still here, he's still here. That's what I think.
There's no other way to get out of here.
Tried it all, my friend.
Fuck.
Magics. Perhaps I've heard of powerful magics, right? But, I was here for a decade. That everybody's heard of it. Perhaps you could actually literally move through the plains. I spent years and tracked down an old scroll that let me leave. Even as the plane started to shift, that mist blocked me. And no, there's something beyond. He's even Soth. Who do you think keeps him in Sithicus? There's a darkness in this land. Beyond.
Oh, guys.
Camera. That's two bones sitting outside the door, crying.
I'm just never gonna get. I'm never gonna get home. That's all right. Fine.
Straight up.
Oh. But I would be wary, because the longer you're here, my friends, unless I've been lucky, fortunate enough to not have my memory go, but most do.
Can I send Memnock and get a bird's eye view of the city?
Mm-hmm.
I specifically want to look and see if I can see the keep.
So the keep is actually like a couple days away. The castle, the actual castle, yeah. Okay. It's so the Great Chasm. I have to look. It's right here actually. Is so I can give you actual. There we tell you. Yeah, Hearthland, the keep. Yeah. So it is. Two days to the Great Chasm, where the keep sits. It's a giant chasm, like where the earth ripped open years ago, like obviously before the keep was built.
Robin, one last thing before we let you go. Ever heard anything about a lady in blue?
Yes. I know the lady in blue, or at least heard tale.
What can you tell us about
So-
that?
After Soth fell to the fires, became that creature of the night. He found a like soul, dragon high lord, Kitiara. With Kitiara, Lord Soth, they laid low many glorious cities together. Together, Lord Soth was sure that him and Kitiara would always remain. But Kitiara of the Crooked Smile, as they would say, died one day in the Tower of High Sorcery. She was a blue dragon High Lord. Says, I didn't know much about this land of Slomnia. I've never heard of it. But from what I gathered, it's sort of land.
I'll come back inside.
Robin, would we be able to find you back here in this inn if we had other questions?
Yep. This is where I am.
I have a couple more.
Okay.
Back home, where are you from?
I am from originally, near Cormyr.
We know that place. That's familiar to us.
Yeah.
Well, and what was the year when you?
That's a
Left.
good fucking question.
1922.
It was 1941. I went to war.
Year of
1355. 1355. Gale
Okay,
Reckoning.
and what was the year when, like, that we would have known right before we were gone?
Oh, shit.
Would have been like 70. 1370, 1370. Yeah,
Okay.
1370.
Okay, so time adds up.
Yeah, so it seems it seems like time is
Okay.
what year is it here, Robin?
also a really good question. It is
That's so crazy to me to think that, like, we don't even know what the year is here.
Right?
We've been here for like however long we've been here, and we're still like, I don't even know what these people would call it. Crazy.
sorry, you gotta see what it is.
I feel
I
like
can
this
tell
is
you what
the
it was in the
moment
diary
that
entry.
it hit us.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to
What's,
know what
um,
it is in the diary entry, I have it pulled up.
Yeah, what is it? What's the last one in the diary entry?
The third entry is 7/16, 27th day of Flame Roll.
16
there
or
was, like-
23 or 42. It's 7/42. So
There's-
the
there's
date is
3.
770. No, 760.
Okay. 760. Okay.
All right, one thing that I was thinking about asking, I probably should have asked earlier. All of this architecture, right? Like, it mentions of siege weapons and stuff like that. Like, was there any place back where I was from that had like big weapons or these massive walls? Like,
Yeah, you would, but they would be like this is like a very like. So there's like capital cities, and then there's big like frontier cities or cities that need protection or things like that. You've seen them like this, but it's rare. Like this is a very well. It's more of a fortified town than it is an actual. It's got keep walls and it's got a lot of military presence in it.
Okay.
But you've seen it before. But this is it's impressive and it's extremely well done.
Right. But it doesn't resemble anything from home.
No, none of it looks
Right.
crazy. Like none of this makes sense. Like you don't see any designs that look familiar to any of you. You're muted.
Thank you. Just for my imagination, if you had to describe it as a certain type of architecture that we would know, what would it be most similar to? Like Gothic or?
Yeah, so it would look medieval,
Mm-hmm.
but none of it like when you think of like French architecture or like Russian architecture, there's no design like that. Motif. It's definitely inspired by Elven, but it's not Elven. So it's a mix of some sort of strange architecture plus Elven architecture.
Okay.
How long does it take? People start forgetting.
Depends on the person. Some people start losing their memories a couple weeks, maybe. Others can go a year or two. Well, the fog will set in regardless. A few weeks to everybody, but to actually start kind of forgetting and really losing some memories, anywhere from a month to a year. Seems like the closer you are to the castle, the stronger the loss of memory is.
Sure.
So when you're out in those outskirts cities, you don't notice it nearly as much. You'll just realize, hey, they don't really remember where they're from, like where they were born, or they don't have memories from when they were kids. And there's also kind of this apathy, kind of you forget there's other places to be.
Last question. I'm sorry. I know we're
No,
overwhelming you. When we passed through the Carden, a man there, a gnome, told us about a noble who wore all white who passed through not too long ago. Have you heard of him, or do you know anything about this?
I don't know if he was a noble, but there was that strange man or that white coat.
Yes. What do you know about him?
He has a manor not too far from here.
Really?
Indeed, he's a strange one.
He's an outsider as well. That's what
Yes,
Pinboy
yes,
told
but
us.
he didn't stay very long in town. Some say he went and tried to speak to South, but he was strange.
Hmm.
Never
you
spoke
ever
of his
talk
wife
to
a lot, though. I never met her.
Do you know his name?
Ichabod.
On D&D Beyond, it has the thing in the notes where it's like allies, enemies. And I was like, other.
Oh, right. Everybody's other until we figure it
Yeah.
out.
Oh, okay, thank you.
And how far is that from here?
So his manor, is a few days.
Closer to the keep?
So keep would be west, and no, not really. It'd be kind of going
Okay.
down instead of we'd be going south instead of. You wouldn't really get any further from the keep, but you know what I mean, because you'd be going down like this.
Gotcha.
But he says he might be able to get you a map.
Yeah, that would be great.
He's like, but again, that's something too that goes. It's like almost like hold on to it.
We'll be staying here tonight and probably into tomorrow. We'll look to get that map from you. While we're doing our business here, you can leave any messages for us at the bar, I presume. And likewise.
Indeed.
Hey,
Best of luck to you.
if
I'll be
you
around. I'll
could,
be here.
if you could,
Hmm?
you'd leave, right?
Kind of pause it for a second. That answer that question would have been so easy 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. Yes, more than anything. I gave the best parts of my life, the best years. Just searching. Finally come to terms with it, and then to be offered the opportunity, I don't know. I'd like to think I would go home, but where is home? Spent more years here than I have not being here.
That's a good point.
He's shit here. No. He's like, I got a decent life. The weather's shit. Again,
You can't
I
you
almost-
can't beat that warm breeze out the Sword Coast.
but I imagine his parents are probably dead. I wouldn't know where to find my sister.
Hell,
Where would I go home to?
Well, if we find a way,
yeah.
there's a seat for you on it.
Hope you can. Seen just a few newcomers, strangers. Said Ichabod. It's the only one I know of that I ever saw again. If you want my advice, if you're looking, what's your goal? Do you guys looking to get out of here? Is that what you're trying to do? Because I'll help you, but even if I think that it's danger going to your deaths, but I can help you. I can. But or if you'd rather,
We want to get out of here.
No.
the way I see it is, you can always try to go to the keep. I don't think it's a good idea. I've never got close. I've gotten close enough to hear them. I've heard them singing on the wind. There's the Great Chasm right next to it, so it's quite dangerous. It's known to have giant insects, giant spiders. But that is the least of your worries. Those are just things you can see.
Well,
Carver, they're a dangerous family. I don't know much about them. Apparently, they're a powerful family, but they do have connections. Welcoming they would be to you. Perhaps there's even something in there that you don't need their help.
What is this land of Barovia that you talk about?
I don't know much. Actually, there's not much on this at all in this land. But what I guess is it's just another land like Sithicus. That's what I'm saying. I worry. To leave Sithicus doesn't mean that you're going to leave these domains of dread.
Let's just go to Barovia.
Well, can't imagine it's much better than this place. No, you want to go home, my friends. I'm sure of it. If it's possible. These dark powers allow it. You'd have to have some. I think you'd have to have some pretty powerful friends.
I mean, not gonna lie, I could kill you right now. I'm pretty powerful. So,
Indeed, I've no doubt you and your mighty glaive would cut me in twain before I could take a sip of my wine. I have no doubt of it.
I have to
You look
say
like a
though,
man who's. You look like a man who's. You look tired, Gideon.
yeah.
Been long on the road.
Mm.
I understand the weight of this place too. Kind of lands on the shoulders. No, not just your memories that can go. Beware your morals. If you have them.
All 5 of us flashbacks to Gideon killing Ben.
Yes, you're right. He did plunge the blade into Ben, but I didn't see anybody saying a word in protest.
I didn't say it was
You
just
know,
Gideon.
I know.
I didn't
I'm
say
just
it was
saying.
just Gideon.
I know. I love it. No, it's not just that though. But you know, um, the weight of this land heavy on your soul. So your memories can be gone, but so can other things. Other parts of you can be lost. I wish I could say that I kind of looks around like he's looking past you guys for a second. Always adhere to my morals here. Whatever morals those might be, but I did not. Perhaps I should keep the stain of this place on me and not take it home. Perhaps that's fitting. But there's always wine and ale. And I just drink till I can't feel feelings anymore.
Cheers to that.
He says, so, but, I've been here for decades now. You don't have to. I mean, there's hope. Perhaps you can. There's a group of you. Perhaps that's the strongest thing you guys have. Alone, you see, I would get friends here and there to travel with or pay, but there's not many people like you around here, like us.
I was thinking, what's the best way to get an invite? Have you ever seen anybody get an invite?
So, yes, there used to be business conducted, right? Some nobles would be brought up to the castle, and now Azrael could definitely give an invite. Like he has the power to, he's been invested with the power to do that. But again, he's just the gnarliest, meanest, murderous, violent little thing, and abuses his power. I avoid him. He comes into town. I just stay in my room.
How long has he come by here?
I haven't seen him in a while, but it could be weeks, months, years. He usually only comes when there was a problem. He's been seen around before, though. I mean, other towns and travel sometimes.
Hey, I was shooting your eyes in the beginning, but I'm glad to be sharing around with you now.
Here, here. Here, here. Good to speak to others who've my experiences, or with any experiences.
Yeah.
You guys drink up. He's like, yeah, he's, I'll be around him. I'm gonna hit the hay in the morning. Get the sausages in the morning. They're so good.
Oh yeah.
Sausage. All right. We will see you in the morning for sausages. That is a date.
Oh, okay. Bob. I didn't know you went
I have
like
a
that.
love. Sausage is my love language.
Yeah, it
Uh,
is.
Yeah, I
Nice.
bet it is.
Hey.
You guys kind of sit there and let that kind of weight of all that info kind of drop on you.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
fuck.
Does he get up and leave? He
Yeah,
gets up and leave.
yeah.
Guys, and I reach into my bag and pull out the diary, the journal, and I'm like, this was his. Did we find Soft's body on the road? And like, I'll flip through, and if you go back to the journal entries,
Yeah. So you
Well-
don't think that would, like, from the description of, like, that's not this wasn't Soth, but from you think this could be his journal though. It was being carried by somebody, but you're almost positive that was just a normal person in that same kind of white rose chainmail guard or army guy, you know what I mean, like a military guy. So yes, you're right. Like Bungo you could definitely assume that this is Soth's journal, but you doubt that was Soth carrying it.
okay.
He had it tucked in a bag, so.
I don't know if this is important. It seems important.
Could be
Can't
important.
believe we were
That could be
found
important.
that on the road.
Sorry.
Well, that paste didn't work. Copy paste didn't work very well, but
Oh, you guys can go. I think I showed you guys all of them on the Roll20. They're like on the
well, they're
side.
back in our
Yeah,
chat as well.
I mean you can.
Oh, journal. It says journal. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Decipher journal.
Yeah,
On the 27th flame roll.
Oh
sure
yeah.
did.
Oh
The
shit!
only so
This is awesome.
are the dates are ascending, like they're not. It's not like BC where the lower the number, it's
Yeah, it's going up. Yep.
okay. So I suggest to the party that we have a sleep and kind of digest this, and in the morning hit the shops, and we have a list of things we can act on when Ren is feeling better, and we can pick a direction. But the angles that just from discussing with Sir Robin is we can talk to Ichabod, we can scope out or talk to this Kavar family. There's the Seneschal Azrael that we want to avoid. The Scythicus Chasm, which sounds terrible. The Lord Soth himself, and the Dorgard Keep, which all sounds terrible, and then the Vistani. So the kind of the ones that sound like they're actually obtainable at this point would be talking to the Vistani or talking to Ichabod.
We have to kill Saw.
Do you think?
Mm-hmm.
How
I pull
are
out
we gonna
the
do that?
part in the journal. Woe to those who seek Scythicus, for as I am, so shall the land be. Until he's dead. Here we are.
Ah, fuck. Hell,
Yeah.
I guess that means we got some problems to solve.
Mm-hmm. Bones just like sits back in his chair.
I'll finish my drink, then know that no more is gonna do any good. You know, like that feeling, just like you're full. Just no. Last night was rough. I'm gonna go hit the hay.
Hmm.
Sausages in the morning, fellas.
You guys are all going to bed?
No.
Yeah, you wake up to the smell of cooking sausage. Delicious. Toast with butter. 5 silver.
5 silver.
um, but no, yeah, you're
um, I will just in the morning, draw a little circle with some salt and light some candles. And just do a little meditation, just reaching out, just to see.
at the moment you don't feel anything.
Great.
At the moment.
I'll clean up, go down.
I would have done a quick ritual casting of identifying the diamond necklace just to make sure it's non-magical.
It's not, but it's probably worth a large amount of money. So you guys are gonna go do some shopping, get your cut from Central. Is there anything else you're trying to do in the city before? I mean, I know there's plenty of decisions being made, but just that type of stuff. You're gonna go to the shops, which I'm assuming you're gonna hit up those. Yep, Flash or Alana.
She's gonna want to see if she can copy the runes onto like another set of rings and see what it does.
Oh, so you want to try to get all of the, kind of actually get all of the different runes that's on his ring
And try
and
to
write it down.
yeah, write it down
Yeah,
and
yeah.
see if she could get that put on or a set of rings.
So give me a Arcana and Insight roll separately. Yeah.
2 different. Boop, boop, boop. Oh yes. Okay. Today I'm not rolling bad. All right. So I got an 18 and a 19. My Arcana is +3, and then what was the other one that you wanted?
Insight.
Insight is also +3, so I've got a 21 and a 22.
Okay, you are able to copy that stuff down for sure. I mean, you'll have to like somebody with either jeweler's proficiency or take it to a jeweler and actually have it put on a ring, but you are able to pretty well copy it. And studying it, it clearly is protecting his thoughts, protecting his mind. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, basically, like you think it's like with those rolls, you think it's a ring of mind shielding.
Yeah.
Something along those lines, right? And that is somehow protecting his memories as well.
Yep. So my goal is to get a set of rings for everyone and then have them enchanted with that specifically.
All right, that is something we can absolutely figure out.
I want to buy a bag for Memnock,
Carry
like a
him in?
backpack.
Okay.
No, like that he can wear.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. You can find a small backpack.
Okay. Just something
All
so
right.
he can carry stuff.
Yeah. So she's gonna do that. You guys, are anybody else do anything other than shopping, going to those places? Oh, you said a bag. You could definitely get that. You could take a
Oh, and a shield.
shield. Yeah, we can do that when you go to the armor. But the bag you can find like custom, like 2 silver pieces
Sweet.
for a small leather backpack.
Hell yeah.
Fanny pack.
It's just like a fanny pack.
He needs a fanny pack of holding.
Right.
Yeah, so my plan would be to run to the shops. I would ask Robin if when I see him again if he knows of any way to get a message out back to the land that we're from. And then I would also load up my pockets with spare sausages.
That is fair. Think here for a second. So Robin doesn't come down necessarily first thing in the morning. He's
Yeah.
stays up there for a while. But if you wait
Next time
for
I
him-
see him, I want to ask him about that.
Okay.
But, yeah. But I
Yeah, you can
definitely
look at
I want those sausages too.
yeah, you can snag a couple pocket sausages. Like it sounds like your Friday night.
Important.
Ew.
I'll accompany Bungo to wherever he goes.
Were you guys trying to buy and sell stuff?
Yeah. Next, I mean, we go as a group now, or are we gonna? Where are people at? What are people feeling? We're gonna go shopping now, or we're gonna wait for Ren next time?
Jeff probably, yeah. That's a good.
Good for him.
It's
You
your
guys let me
call.
know.
Yeah, he'll want to do shopping.
He'll want to do shopping.
He'll
No,
want to do shopping.
He will.
especially when your shopping is interrupted by an earthquake.
Which would be awesome. Not really, but
He caught you off guard. No. All right, yeah, this is a good place though. Then we can start with that.
Right.
We can, and you guys can we can do the mundane stuff maybe, and
In
then do
chat?
the fun stuff yeah, and
Yeah,
then you guys
that's
go
a
do
good
the
idea.
fun. Go to their antique shop or whatever place you're gonna go, or the alchemy store.
Sweet.
hey,
Yeah,
hey,
okay.
Flash. Seeing how we're gonna do stuff behind the scenes, how would people, or is there a way for them to follow the behind the scenes?
This is a good question.
Well, there's supposed to be. But coming soon.
Oh,
we
yeah.
have a Patreon coming soon. We got to get Andy hooked up with technology again. And then you can like and subscribe and follow us wherever you find us, preferably on YouTube. And then hit the notification bell so you can see when our videos come live and when we come live on Twitch.
Ooh. Andy's okay with, it's just the buildings and minis and stuff that are flowing in. But I'll get a Patreon set up, all right. All right. So, hey, Damien, thanks. That was,
Yeah, that was been fun.
dude, there is nothing like a good lore drop episode where you're like,
It can be
oh,
tough.
fuck
Not
my
always-
life.
Yeah. Well, it can always, yeah. Sometimes the exposition needs dumped, but try to do it in a way that's fun and engaging.
I'm still
Even though-
blaming all of this on that first guy
Good.
who that turned out. What
You know,
was-
I'm really
yeah.
glad
it's all
I
his
remembered
fault.
that.
Remember I said Dirk was going to be the last good man you met?
Captain Drag.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all Captain Drag's fault. Like his name is
Drag, yeah,
cursed
whatever
on
his name
these
is.
lands.
That was
All right.
good.
And I'm gonna sign us off.